Hello everyone, welcome to Third Hunters. In this guide we'll cover the final boss of the online mode of Monster Hunter Double Cross. This is an awesome monster in an awesome fight with some really cool mechanics that won't leave you indifferent. And it also unlocks some of the best gear in the whole game. So if you want to learn how to fight against this far-on-theme mantis-like creature, you have come to the right place.
This chart represents the damage every hit zone takes for every possible weapon type and element. Try to aim at parts with higher modifiers. You can go wrong as a Blade Master, as long as you avoid its back, tail and body, she's pretty much a walking weak spot. She's very weak to raw, but element-wise she's most vulnerable to thunder, then water. As a gunner, focus on shooting her head and tail for maximum damage. Lastly, it's worth noting that Atrulka has incredible tolerance against the status. She has absurdly high thresholds and abyssal durations, so think it twice if you were planning to bring a status weapon. To further capitalize it, let's see an example. Paralysis only lasts 5 seconds on her.
During this fight you'll progress through 5 phases in which Atlal will add more tools and refine moveset to her arsenal. Phases 1, 3 and 5 will phase you against Atlal, while phases 2 and 4 will phase you against Atlal, a giant robot. Also, during the whole fight you'll be able to interact with some elements of the map. We'll proceed to explain each phase separately and we'll introduce the elements whenever they are available. So without further delay, let's start with phase 1.
In phase 1, you'll face Atrulka, a mantis-like Neopteron. Much as a hunter, she is able to interact with several elements on the field and use them against you. To do so, she will attach a string to the tool that she wants to use and place it on her back. On phase 1 though, she can only use one kind of a tool, a rusty beam that lays on the ground. She takes some time to perform this operation and she's totally exposed during the whole animation. So use this in your advantage and give her all you've got, no mercy allowed. She always starts with this after the initial roar, so it's a really good moment to fill your meters and or to build a nice initial momentum. In this phase, she will have a reduced moveset, so try to familiarize with these moves as they are shared between all the uneven phases. Let's review them. When she pulls with one claw the string that is attached on the tool on her back, she is about to throw said tool in front of her. After that, she will try to reattach it, giving you a few moments to safely attack her. Pay attention to this signal and move to the sides to avoid being hit. Be careful with the beam, as it may hit you for cheap damage when she calls it back. Alternatively, you can use one of the defensive tools at your disposal, such as brave stance, wards, counters, whatever, and punish her while she reattaches the beam. Lastly, this move can only be thrown towards her front, so if you are on her back or her flanks, you can safely attack her during the whole animation. She has a variation of this move where she throws the beam closer, but quicker than before. You will detect it because she will noticeably lean back to gain momentum. As before, move to the sides before she performs the throw to avoid it. She will try to reattach the beam after the throw, so use this chance to deal as much damage as possible. And again, you can use any of the defensive methods at your disposal to evade it. If you see her raising her arms, she is about to poke you with her claws. To avoid it, as soon as you notice both her arms raising, move to one side. Alternatively, use one of the defensive options at your disposal. Be careful, though, as she can chain it with a more damaging move, a moving forward double claw attack. To detect it, it has a very subtle tell. She will raise her head a little bit and very quickly wiggle her claws. If you notice it in time, get out of its way to avoid incoming swipes. Lastly, staying on her flanks or behind her will let you punish her during the whole animation. If you see her drop the beam a little bit behind her, on the sides, a back flick throw is coming. Move to the other side to avoid it and squeeze a couple hits while she reattaches it. If she does a sudden back hop, she can do a variation of this throw that covers a lot of ground, so be aware. Expect her to use this variation if you are tangled, so try to free yourself quickly. If she slowly takes one claw up and to the sides, she is about to do a powerful swipe. Be careful as it has huge reach. Try to not overcommit if you fight in front of her, and you should be able to react in time. When green smoke begins to emanate from under Atrulka, be ready to receive a pheromone discharge that inflicts defense down. Move outside or avoid it in time and you will be able to damage her during the recovery animation. You can counter this move, but you will still be inflicted with defense down, so take it into account. She will lean on one side and shoot a burst of spiderwebs from her appendix. The spiderwebs unfolds past a distance, so try to keep some distance from them. As a gunner, remember that you can pretty much punish anything as long as you don't have the aggro. Be especially aware of the spiderweb bars though, it seems designed to mess with ranged weapons. After a while fighting her, once you've done enough damage, she will retreat and phase 2 will start. She takes quite a while to summon the robot, so use this chance to heal, sharpen and boost yourself. Take into consideration that during the summoning, her HP is locked, but you can still hit her to fill your meters.
In phase 2, Atlal will summon and ride a giant robot that you'll have to fight. Your goal in this phase is to break the robot after dealing enough damage to it. To speed things up, we'll target the bulb on the back. In order to reach it, we'll climb through one of its legs and eliminate the debris in our way. This will clear the path to the bulb, so attack it with everything you have. After the bulb is broken, the robot will fall down and you can enter from its mouth to reach its weak spot. It will remain vulnerable for a long time, so it's a nice chance to move yourself. During this time you can destroy the robot though, because its HP will be locked at 1. But if you deal enough damage to the bulb, the next hit after the recovery will destroy the robot. And even if you don't deal enough damage, every stagger after that will make it fall as long as you have broken the bulb on its back. There are several ways to climb to the robot back. Most of them revolve around staggering one of its front legs. That said, don't start the phase attacking blindly. Watch closely the robot moves and react accordingly. If you see the robot lifting one front leg really high up in the air, it means a stomp smash is coming. The force of the impact will cause this feet to get stuck, so you can climb directly to its back. To avoid it, just get out of its range and wait for the move to end. Be careful though, see this line of dust beneath the ground? Rocks will follow shortly after, dealing considerable damage if you are careless. If it slightly rises 1 feet and leaves it there for a while, instead of a stomp, the robot will try to slam you. Be careful. A small circle of rocks will appear in front of its standing feet, and from its raised feet, a line of rocks will be thrown forward. Avoid the attack and try to cause a stagger on one of its front legs. After that, you'll be able to climb to its back. This move starts with Atlal firing two web threads from its bulk. They start below the robot head and spread diagonally. If you get hit, it will immobilize you. After firing the threads, the robot will try to charge you with its head. Move to the side, remember to take into consideration the threads, and attack its front leg when it finishes the charge. These are the three main moves that the robot has during this phase. Pay attention to the robot, react appropriately, and you will be climbing to the back in no time. That said, there are a few other dangers on the ground. If you stay beneath the robot, you can easily get hit by webs, debris, or Atlal pheromones discharge. Because of that, we want to be either in front or at its sides and attack its feet when possible. When going for a stagger, the middle yellow toe receives more damage. Be careful though. Staying in front is more dangerous as its toes can step on you or hit you through a line of dust. When you detect a toe lifting, move to the side of the feet. You won't deal as much damage, but it's totally safe. Remember to aim at the toes though, you'll bounce against the legs. As for the dangers that you'll face when you are on its back, you have to look mostly for two things. First, if you see strings getting attached to the floor, it means Atlal will use a tail sting against you. The tail will use the strings to move, so be ready to escape or counter it. Second, be ready to jump out as soon as you see a green smoke leaking from the robot. It means a pheromone discharge is about to happen. And if you get hit, you'll get inflicted with defense down. Alternatively, you can cheese this phase with a ranged piercing weapon. When Atlal goes to the center of the stage after the phase 1 ends, hit towards the northwest part of the map. From this position, we have a clear view to its bulb. We can't actually destroy it yet, but if we deal enough damage while the robot is being assembled, and it doesn't take too many hits for that, our first spear shot through the air structure will get the job done as soon as the robot gets up. Also, with piercing weapons, you don't even need to enter through the robot's throat. See this yellow bulb right here? This is the central bulb. With piercing shots, we can actually reach it by shooting through the metal structure. Take into account that in this phase, the robot has reduced HP. You don't need to be fighting through the whole duration, so use the chance to combine more shots, move yourself, etc. And as usual, if we have dealt enough damage, our next hit will end the phase. Now that we have covered the goal of the phase and how to react to its dangers, let's talk about the map and its interactive elements. The fight happens in the Orfalter Ruins, a single area map in which traps won't work. If you enlarge your map in-game, you'll notice 7 small dots. The 4 dots marked in orange are ballistas. The dot marked in red is a Dragonator. And the 2 dots marked in green are cannons. Please take into account that if you are on a fully optimized endgame set, you'll deal more damage with your weapon than with machinery. But if you haven't reached that point yet, machinery will have to speed your times. Without further delay, in the blue chest at the start of the quest, you'll find anti-dragon bombs and ballista ammunition. Also, the guild will provide you ammo every few minutes while you are facing the robot. When this happens, stars will appear in the map, indicating the location of the supplies. In these capsules, you can find items such as ballista ammo, binders, and anti-dragon bombs. Plus, the closest capsule to a cannon will always contain a cannonball. In order to use it, you have to transport the ball to the cannon and fire it with the A button when prompted. Be aware, the cannon only shoots in a straight line, and if you roll or get hit while transporting the ball, it will get destroyed. As for the ballistas, you can shoot them from any of the 4 ballista turrets on the map. They deal fixed damage independently of where they hit, but remember to aim at the legs if you want to cause a stagger. Binders can be shot from the ballista turrets too. Remember to select them previously. It will immobilize the monster for a long time, allowing you to clip to its back. And remember to watch out for the robot ranged attacks while you are fighting. The last interactive element on the map is the Dragonator. When you activate it, a massive harpoon will be fired from the cavity of the wall, dealing a good chunk of damage to the monster if it pierces it. Be aware though, its range is deceptively small, and in order to hit the monster it has to be really close to it. For that reason, it's recommended to lure the monster towards the Dragonator, stick close to the Dragonator, and wait for the robot to come to you. The robot charge is your best bet, as after the threats the robot will advance a lot in a straight line. Let's watch it from another perspective. There's another item that we can use against the robot, the anti-dragon bomb. This item cannot be used on the ground, but you'll be able to place it on top of the robot. They deal fixed damage and explode shortly after being placed. Due to this, they are better placed where the detonation can hit you, as the explosion can knock you out of the robot. That said, Phase 2 robot has reduced health, so if you plan to use it, please consider saving it for Phase 4.
On Phase 3 you fight again versus Atlal. The biggest difference with Phase 1 is that this time, apart from the beam, she is also able to use Dragonators. Moveset wise, she will learn a few tricks but still rely mostly on the same moves as Phase 1. Just be aware that the reach and speed of the beam and the Dragonator may differ a little, but other than that, these moves are exactly the same as before and are dealt the same way. As a reminder, they are the throw, the claw lunge, the swipe, the pheromone discharge, the spiderweb burst, and the backflip throw. Be especially careful with this one, as now the Dragonator is thrown in a more circular way and covers way more area. To avoid it, it's still the same as before. Go to the opposite side or use any of the defensive tools at your disposal. Let's proceed to review the new moves. If you see a tremor under you, she is about to dig up a Dragonator and throw it flying at you. She will aim her projectile at you and throw it in a straight line, so to avoid it, look at the spear tip and stay out of its trajectory. You can punish her while she summons the Dragonator, but be careful as the motion for the throw is an attack and can actually hit you. As a gunner, though, you are safe to hit her during the whole animation as long as you are not her target. If she lowers her body and shakes, but there's no green smoke, it means she will spread threads all across the map. Be aware, if you touch any of these threads, you will be binded. She is completely exposed while she spreads the threads, so try to deal as much damage as possible. She rarely uses this move, but if you are afar she can throw the Dragonator and herself at you at high speed. Aside from these moves, as she now has different tools at her disposal, she will swap them during the battle. She takes quite a bit to perform this operation and can't retaliate, so if possible, use this chance to damage her as much as you can. Just be aware that she can travel big distance in order to find Atul, so don't worry if you can close the gap in time to punish it. If she stays still or goes close to you, though, go ham on her. Lastly, before proceeding with phase 4, a final tip for this phase. She will always begin this phase spreading threads across the map, and after a short attack, she will attach a Dragonator on her back. That means that during the first 30 seconds or so of this phase, she will almost be a punching bag. If you start hitting her as soon as she burrows from the ground and keep on the offensive during the whole time that she's exposed, you can quickly reduce a significant amount of her HP, speeding up a lot this phase.